Steven and Connie don't kiss. Stop showing all these pictures that they do. They don't. They hug a lot. They don't kiss. Yeah! Hello YouTube, it's a friendly GoPro here. I'm back again with another Steven Universe vlog, and today's is Steven's birthday, and it's Steven's birthday, so we're all gonna celebrate. These things are really annoying. So, continuing the new Steven bomb of the, self-explanatory Steven's birthday story arc, Steven's birthday is today. This takes place the same day as The Answer, yesterday's, or Monday's episode did. Sorry, I got a thing in my throat. It's birthday fever. Woo! I'm not gonna touch him. So in this episode, Steven and the Gems are setting up for his big old birthday bash when Connie and Greg come over to celebrate the birthday with him. And, Steven finds out that he is, I think Connie said she was 12 and 3/4, so that Steven is older than Connie. And when she hears that, she's like, what? So they look at his baby pictures, and they see that during his adolescent years, he doesn't seem to grow that much. And when Connie asks why, Greg thinks that it's just because, Steven's a gem, but he doesn't really know how Steven works because, he's the first half gem, half human thing, so he might age, he might not. It's kind of toying with that idea we heard of in Too Many Birthdays, which you could look at it and say, this is kind of just Too Many Birthdays with a different storyline. And while I have, mentioned a whole bunch of times that Too Many Birthdays is one of my favorite episodes, I'll just start the vlog off, I'll say in the vlog this early in that this is definitely one of the most fun episodes yet, whereas, Too Many Birthdays was more like on the dramatic side. So Steven overhears Connie and Greg talking about how he might grow up, might not, they don't know, and so he himself tries to use his little magic powers and stretch into I wouldn't say an older version of himself, but a taller version of himself with a neck, and that's my favorite line of the episode. You have a neck now? Because I'm just going to say now, for some reason, I'm guessing it was just the storyboarder, might just do this. I think it was Joe Johnson did this episode, because he kind of makes the Ghibli style sort of characters. But all the Amethyst and Greg and Steven and Connie, just all the characters, I didn't see it that much in Pearl and Garnet, are just drawn really strangely in proportions this time. They're like either really short, like a Peanuts character, or they're just or they got like really big heads or whatever. It's just maybe just a personal thing, but I thought like they looked really weird in this episode at some parts, especially when Steven and Connie are looking at the stars together. Connie's head is like billion times the size of her head. She looks like a pop figure. But I digress. So Steven grows into this taller, more deeper voice version of himself, and he just pretty much shows off his new form. Everybody seems to like it. Everybody, doesn't really have a problem with it, except it turns out Steven himself, because he is having a bit of trouble, as he calls it, stretching all this entire time. And it turns out that stretching for too long can have some negative side effects, as Amethyst says. So, as I said before, when Steven and Connie are looking at the stars, and Connie's head is like a billion sizes too big, Steven shrinks into a little baby, just right there, because I guess if you stretch too much, you go backwards in time? I don't know. They didn't really explain that, but you can assume that's probably why. So he shrinks into a little baby. It's adorable, I'm not gonna lie. Come at me with any, oh, you're not manly comments at all, because it's just the cutest little thing. And he's so cute. This episode is just a boatload of cuteness. I gotta get to that. So Connie's like, what? Baby? What? So, as the responsible person she is, she goes over, tells the Gems. The Gems don't know what to do, so Greg thinks that since driving made Steven happy when he was a baby, when he turns back into a baby, it might work the same. That sounds like I had no idea what to say, but try to word that sentence for yourself, alright? Baby Steven was cheered up by driving, so maybe baby Steven will like it. What sense is that, okay? Cut me some slack, alright guys? Cut me some slack. So, it doesn't work, and Connie says that she herself will stay with Steven and, nurse him back to being a guy, I guess. I don't know. It's It's a little cloudy, but it's a sweet part. I'm not gonna rip it apart. That it's kind of weird when you think about it. And then they go back to the tent, or they go back to the barn. They sleep the night off, and in the morning, Steven is back to his normal self again, or so it seems, because when Steven and Connie reunite, he has a single hair on his chin, which undoubtedly means he is a man now. Because if there's one thing I've learned from puberty, it's that you got a hair on your chin, you're a man. Yep. And I'm not even gonna make a joke about how all men are pigs, or a little, a Three Little Pigs reference with the hairs on your chin, because I'm too mature, and also nobody else would get it. So, pretty much, this episode is one word, and that is cute. It is just an overload of cute imagery, scenes, little voice acting, little, nitbits, little, just everything. They even, push Peridot out of the episode. So she doesn't even have a line. She's in it, for 2 seconds, but she doesn't even have a line, because they just want this to be, an entirely sweet episode. This is probably because the next episode is gonna, completely rip everything apart. But for the time being, it's a very, very sweet episode. There's just so many cute scenes. I mean, you've seen the episode. Do you really need me to count them off? Connie and Steven dancing together. Connie resting her head on Steven's chest. They're hanging out together. That thing Garnet does to try to cheer up baby Steven. They even make a hilarious reference to Estelle, who is, for those who don't know, Garnet's voice actor, when they're looking through... there's a scene where they're looking through records to play when they're dancing. And Greg comes across... I think her name is Stella in the TV show or something like that, but it's a parody of an Estelle album, and he shows it to Garnet, and Garnet, pushes his face over. That is very, very funny, but, you have to be in the know to get what it means, but it's really... I love seeing a fourth wall break like that, because, Steven Universe never breaks the fourth wall, outside of that one they had with Uncle Grandpa, which... It's not canon, I guess, so... That's a really funny joke for those who were in the know. But, no, really, there's nothing to deeply analyze. It's pretty much everything that that if you were to sum up Steven Universe, I think, if you took out, some of the dramatic and emotional parts, this would be the episode you'd do. If I had to sum up Steven Universe without talking about, the emotional drama and the backstory and all that blah blah, I'd say it's a lot of cute stuff, a lot of sweet interactions within characters, a lot of unique, a lot of unique character proportions, or how they portray the characters. Just a lot of nice times. Not too always focused on the story. They can take a day off or an episode off just to have fun. And that's pretty much what this episode is. There's just scenes where Steven and Connie are just looking at the stars, or dancing around, and nothing's happening. They're just dancing. That's it. There's not some deep impending pressure on anybody. I mean, Steven's kind of whatever, I can stretch my arms and stuff, so you could say maybe he's scared about that, but no, they're just dancing. Let them dance, people, alright? You're always analyzing the show for every 2 seconds of it. Just let the people dance, have a fun time. It's just, you just watch the episode, it's fun. I want to go to this party. I want to go to any party, in retrospect, but I'd like to go to Steven's party. It seems like just such a fun place. It's just a fun episode to watch. I mean, I don't sit down and, get giddy with joy when I watch this episode like I do some of the, big storyline reveal episodes. But it's just fun to watch. And a show like Steven Universe, which can get very, very heavy at times, and while it does know how to balance its deeper tones and its lightheartedness, sometimes it's nice to just take a break off. And so far, Steven's birthday and The Answer, if this is the lineup so far of the new Steven Bomb, then I'm liking it a lot, actually. Of course, this means, we didn't see Peridot this entire episode. She said she's still working on the drill, and since we see in the, spoilers, I guess, since we see in the promotional ads for the new episodes, we see that Peridot obviously has some big storyline thing with an unfolding yellow diamond-shaped thing. So I think we can assume, it'll be Wednesday. Tonight's Wednesday. Tonight's the new episode. We can definitely assume that probably this deep into the week, we're gonna start to get a little heavy on the story. But as the time being, I really like these, just fun, goofy episodes. Yesterday's wasn't exactly, funny, goofy, but it was just a great thing to watch. And today's was just a lot of fun. Just a great, just a great episode. It was a feel-good episode. So if you want an episode of Steven Universe that's really going to make you feel good, this is, easily, definitely the best one. There's a whole bunch of things I could probably point out as, like, super cute or adorable, like, Connie talking about, Connie talking about buying, or he buys him a shirt, or Connie talking about, making up constellations, or making a fancy box just to make it look professional, or all the crazy equipment that Connie's mom makes her bring on the trip to the barn, or that when Steven's talking about how one day when Connie's the president, what is he going to be? The first boy. Just all kinds of cute, very, very cute. And you know what? Happy birthday, Steven, because this very cute episode, which I will question. Does this mean that Steven's birthday is on the day that this episode aired? Because if so, does that mean he was like 12 when the show started? And if he's 14 now, I think he's the same age as Sabrina from Sailor Moon. And if he's the same age as Sabrina from Sailor Moon, what? Also, if that's his birthday, does that mean Connie was 10 when the show started? Or I don't know. I don't want to get into that. What I know, it's a fun episode. What else do you need? Just go watch it. And I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's episode. Go watch this episode because it's a lot of fun. And happy birthday to all of you out there. Even if it isn't your birthday, your birthday is going to be soon. Alright? Unless it isn't. That'll be a real, contradictory to what I just said. Oh well. Chicka chicka.